Yo, welcome to my channel. It's been a while since my last video, but I want to do a discussion between between two tracks, Deep Cover by Dr. Dre and Twinz Deep Cover 98 by Big Pun. Now, a quick shout out firstly to Dr. Dre because he's the one that created this beat. And fun fact, it's crazy to think that Dre actually never liked this beat and he never wanted to put it out and almost never released it. But Dre was a perfectionist, which is probably why he was such a great producer. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that this beat wasn't released. But yeah, so let's talk about the original Deep Cover first, with Dre featuring Snoop. This was one of their first collaborations and they made a great partnership over a long time, especially during the times of this track, like around when this one came out, The Chronic, Doggy Style. This one was released in '92 for the film Deep Cover. This was Dre's first song after he left NWA, the first song he ever released. So that's a bit of history there. And in my opinion as well, early Snoop around this time, and like the other albums I said before, was pretty much at his best. Like a lot of these tracks, I reckon he dropped a lot of his most iconic verses and his best performances was all around this time. And he was pretty fresh, very popular at the time. And this is another example of it, this track. It was a great introduction for Snoop. And I think Dre as well, on the later NWA albums, really started to get pretty decent on the mic. In my opinion, that was probably his best time on the mic, was during the later NWA albums once Ice Cube left. And he sort of brings that energy onto this track. And because this is the first track that Dre and Snoop released together, it was like a prequel to The Chronic. And it's very iconic. But on to the next track. So Twinz Deep Cover 98, released in 1998. It was on Big Pun's debut album, Capital Punishment. And, you know, Big Pun, short career, but he was such a great MC. And the track features Fat Joe, who was very great with Big Pun. They had great chemistry. This version of the song, I'd say, was definitely a lot more lyrical and intense. The pacing of the track was a lot faster as well. Fat Joe definitely holds his own, but Big Pun really shines and showcases some of his best work and made this song especially famous for his "dead in the middle of Little Italy" line. It's even hard to say. Ultimately, I like both versions. I'm a fan of all the artists in both songs, Dre, Snoop, Big Pun, Fat Joe. Another thing to consider is that, you know, the songs were released 6 years apart, one in '92, one in '98, and in those 6 years, hip-hop did change a lot. The style of the tracks are different. Dre and Snoop definitely have a different style to Big Pun and Fat Joe. With this comparison, I tend to go back and forth a lot. Early days, I really liked Dre and Snoop's version. Then I went through a period where I liked Big Pun's one more, went back and forth a few times. As of right now, although Dre's version is the original and probably more iconic, you could argue, but I think the lyricism, the chemistry of Big Pun and Fat Joe, and Big Pun's overall performance and mic skills put the Deep Cover version of 98 just ahead for me. But it is a hard one, but that's probably the choice that I'm going to go with. In saying that though, both songs do go hard and I do regularly play both of them, so it's a hard one. I'd also want to know what you guys prefer, which track you prefer and why. So leave a comment. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. Thanks for watching. I'll be doing more content like this. Stay tuned. Peace.